I've got a lovely little mermaid card for you, and I've used both the mermaids on this card. Okay, I'll share with you what we'll be using for the video today. From our necessities collection, we have the Mermaid Kisses, and that has both the mermaids and some of the little accessories. We're also going to be using the seagrass and a few other bits from the Can't Wait to See You, SEA. And for our background, we're going to use the Ocean Waves, which is one of the triple layering dies. And I've created a little frame out of the Noble Collection double stitched rectangles. Okay, we'll set these off to the side and get started. So I've gone ahead, your Ocean Waves will come like this. Now I have not put an outside cutting edge on this purposely, because that way you can leave whatever size border you like. So I've done the top layer in white, and the middle layer is in aqua. So what we want to do is pop these together. So I'm going to use a little bit of spray glue on the back of this. Okay. And line this up together. Make sure you've got it going the right way around. And I'm just going to kind of lean over and look at it. There we go. That looks good. So you can see those waves starting to take form. And then I've used a little bit of the new Ocean Card for the backing. So I'm going to give it another quick spray. And we'll just pop this right over the back. There we go. So you can see how easy that is to create a quick background. Give it a nice press onto there, and just I love these colors together too. They're my new favorites. So now what we want to do is add the frame. So I've gone ahead and cut a frame that's got the double stitch rectangle, so you've got the stitching on both sides. A little bit of mounting foam on it to raise it up, give it a nice dimension. There we go. And I'm going to pop this over the edge, and then if I need to trim around it, I can do that. So let me just sort of hover above it and try and get it centered. That looks pretty good, about like that. I'm a little bit off there, but I think I can live with that. We're going to have the mermaids there, so it won't show too much anyway. I've decided just to go white on white with the mats and layers because there's so much going on with this one. So I've done my paper piercing around that top edge. And then another white mat below that. There we go. And I've got a little bit of this showing through from underneath, so before I put it down, I want to give it a quick trim with my scissors. There. Get that ocean mat's really showing. That's pretty good. Pop that down in the center. And we'll come back to that in a minute. We're going to play with our mermaids. Okay, so now I've cut both of the mermaids out of Milk Card. Okay, you can see that. Ooh, her arm got a little tweaked. There we go. So I'm going to give them some color before we put their tails on. I'm going to go to the Antique Linen Distress Oxide and the Worn Lipstick. To start with, let's do a little bit of the Antique Linen. And I'm going to give some warmth to the arms. Just add a little bit of color in there, not too much. And kind of up on the face area. On both of them, we'll do them both at the same time. There. Okay, a little bit onto the face. Okay, now a little bit trickier, the Worn Lipstick, I'm going to use the tip here for a tiny little cheek. I want to take off some of that color. Just add a little bit of a cheek there, ever so slightly, and around the top of the mermaid there. A little bit on the shoulders, and just ever so slightly here. Light cheek, add a little bit of color there, and there, top of the shoulders there. Okay. Happy with that. I'm going to use the Fossilized Amber and the Vintage Photo for the hair. So I'm going to go in first with the Fossilized Amber and just sort of work it in. And it's got some debossed line detail in here, so you can kind of follow along. Do this one. And show that, and just to tone it a little bit, I'm just going to bring in tap of that vintage photo there and kind of tone it down ever so slightly. Can't quite get the right hair tone in the Distress Oxide, so you have to kind of do a little bit of mixing. But you could make her, you know, brunette or redhead or blue hair or whatever color you like. There we go. I'm liking that better. Okay. So like that. Now, I've gone ahead and cut the same mermaids out of the Ocean Card, and I've just nipped away the top part so I have like the tails. And I'm going to go ahead and put them into place with a little bit of a cheat. I'm going to trim the tails off. Oops. Because I find it's just easier to line up that way. I don't have to worry about that. Bring in some glue. A little bit of glue here. There we go. And I'll do her at the same time and trim the tail on this one too. You won't see that, but it does give you a spot to actually put the actual tail onto. Okay, I'm going to line this one up ever so slightly, lay that into place, and you do get a tiny bit of that edge coming underneath. It's not too bad. But you do see it because it's a little bit lighter. There we go. And the base on this one. There we go. So I'm quite happy with that. Give that a second to set up. You can bring in a marker or whatnot. This is about the same color as peacock feather, so you can bring that in and put it around it if you like, but I'm okay with that. So now I've got a couple of fish and a little seahorse that we've done. So I'm going to bring my fossilized amber back, and I'm going to do a little bit of color on them with that. Just direct over the top, and you've got a lot of detail that'll come through with that. And then I'm just going to tone it a little bit with the vintage photo, just to kind of soften that brightness a bit. There we go. Less is more. Okay. In fact, we can even make him a little, I'll tell you what, let's pick him up, get around the edge, put a little bit extra around the tail, just add a tiny bit of detail. Seahorses are so cute. Okay, pop all this to the side. I've got a couple of the seagrass that we've done, so what I want to do is put those in first, and I'm going to bring my glue in, and I've just used a couple different shades of green card, and I'm going to kind of just tuck that right under the edge of the frame, but leave it so it's a little bit, what's the word, free-flowing. In fact, I'm going to move that one over there and put this one in the corner. There we go. That. In fact, I'm going to take just a hair bit off of that one. Pop it down a little bit. That'll hide some of my glue. There we go. Give that a second to set up. I'm going to add some mounting foam to the mermaids. I'm going to raise them up. Let's go like that, and probably like that and that. I'm going to raise this up with a bit of double mounting foam, quite thin little pieces there. And she is going to come across here and just have her kind of arm resting on the frame. I like that, like that. So it looks like they're just playing together. These mermaids have been so much fun. I've really, really enjoyed making cards with them. There's that. And I think that should do it. We're going to pop her onto the side. Down here. Just like that. Now our seahorse, I'm going to put a little bit of glue around the back of him. And then we are going to just grab his tail around this seagrass, because that's what they do. It looks so cute. Give that a second to set up. A couple of the fish, and I've got a little sticky on the pokey tool there, so it picks them up really nicely. So I'll put these on, just kind of floating by. There we go. Like that. And you can add more if you like. Make a whole little school of fish coming by. And I've gone ahead and done the You Are Mermazing, because I thought that worked really well with the two mermaids. And I've doubled it up out of the Ocean Card. So I'm going to use a little bit of spray glue. Get that. And we are going to seat that right down on this bottom bit of the frame. There we go. Give that a second. Oh, oh. Let's try that again. My fingers are sticky. How's that? There we go. And voila, we are finished. How easy is that? And I love the way that ocean waves just add such a great background to that card, don't you? Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget, our YouTube channel is there for you. There are so many more to watch.